everyone, and welcome to Traces of Twan's Life. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please go ahead and hit subscribe now, and also click on the notification bell so that YouTube can automatically notify you whenever I post new videos. So today I just wanted to come and talk to you all just a few minutes about credit and credit scores, what I've learned so far from my experience. Let me first let you all know that I am not a financial advisor. I don't have any type of certificates or degrees or anything on credit. I'm just talking to you based off of my experience alone with credit. So the first thing I wanted to share with you all, what I've noticed from this home buying process about credit scores. I noticed that mortgage companies use sometimes the FICO scores from your three credit bureaus, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. They also use something what is called the Vantage score. I'm not really familiar with how those different scores work. However, I just want to let you all know that sometimes the score that the mortgage company give you may differ from the actual scores that you're looking at from Experian, TransUnion, Equifax. Also, the score may differ from some of the other credit reporting agencies that some people use, like Credit Karma, Creditwise. Those are two that I've used, and I've noticed that my scores on Credit Karma and Creditwise seems to be a little lower than what the actual FICO scores are. I've heard from other friends of mine who've ran their scores. They noticed that Credit Karma seemed to be kind of higher, but in my case it was actually lower. My FICO scores were a lot higher than the scores on Credit Karma. So my advice to you all would be to, if you have Credit Karma or Creditwise, if you don't, you can go ahead and sign up for those. They're free. They give you your scores. They give you accurate information what's on your actual credit reports, but sometimes the scores differ. That's the point I'm trying to get across. So I would use it as a reference just to see what's actually on your credit, and not to use it as of a mechanism to say this is what my actual credit score is, because it can differ from time to time. So one of the things that I noticed with my credit report when I actually reviewed it was that I had an account that was on there that was paid off like almost a whole year. On one of the credit reports, it was showing the account paid off, a zero balance, but it was still showing that the account was open. Another credit report that I looked at, it was showing that the account was not paid off, and it had like over a $2,000 balance on it, and it was still open, but it wasn't showing good reporting on my credit report. So you definitely want to make sure that you look at every account that you have paid off and make sure the balance says zero. And also you want to make sure that the account has actually been closed. In my case, because that was not done, I actually called the company, the financial institution, to let them know what was going on with that account on my credit, and they expedited the notice to the different credit bureaus within 10 days so they can go ahead and update those accounts right away versus disputing it through the credit bureaus, because when you dispute through the credit bureaus, it takes about 30 to 45 days, and I want it to happen like fast. So I automatically just called the financial institution. So that's something that you can do as well. When you review your credit report and you see things on there that are not correct. Another thing that I did with my credit report was I actually started paying on some of the credit cards that I had. Within 60 days, I was able to take my credit score from a 620 up to a 660 within 60 days, actually within 30 days. Because it takes about 60 days for everything to be actually updated, because again, some institutions do not submit your information to the credit bureaus every 30 days. Some of them submit it every 45 days. So if you're trying to get your credit score up fast, you want to try to pay as much as you can on your credit cards or any type of accounts that you have within 30 days so that your score can increase really, really fast. And the reason why I did it this way is because when I got approved for the mortgage, my credit score was at a 620 and I was approved. But however, in order for me to get it to a lower interest rate, I had to get my score up 20 more points. A 640 actually would give me a 1% difference in interest rate. So that's a lot of money that you can save. Believe it or not, 1% don't seem like it's a lot, but it is over 30 years. So what I did was the company that I purchased my home with, I did the contract with to purchase my home, they actually had a company that they use that kind of give you advice on what you should do in order to increase your credit score. So I contacted the company and the company viewed my credit score and my credit report. They sent me a letter in the mail telling me what exactly I needed to do. And the first thing that stuck out to me on that report was that I needed to pay down all of my open accounts below 50%. So within 30 days, I hurry up and I pay all of my accounts down below the 50%. And then the accounts that was around 20%, I paid those down to 10%, because from what I was told based off of the advice from this company was that you should always keep your open accounts below 10%. Below 10% really doesn't affect your score. When it becomes 50%, it shows that you're living off of your credit cards and you're not able to pretty much manage them properly. So it's best to keep all of your limits below 10% or below the 50% range. 30% is average. It's good to keep it around 30%, but it's best to keep everything below 10%. So I did that accordingly, and within 30 days, that was done. When my credit report was pulled again in 60 days, my score went up from a 620 to a 660. So now I qualify for a lower interest rate. So I asked the mortgage company, well, what can I do to get it even lower? And they told me my next step would be to get the credit score up to a 679 before closing on the home in order to get the next rate. So that's what I'm working on now. So I'm making sure I'm paying all my bills on time. I'm making sure that everything is below a 10% or either paid completely off to a zero balance, so that way I can increase my score by the time my house closes. I'm thinking it's going to close around December or January, somewhere up in there. Another thing I wanted to share with you all that I did not know was that the credit counselor, he advised me not to touch 2 accounts that was in collection. I have 2 accounts on my credit that's in collection. He told me, do not touch anything that's in collection, because what happens is whenever you touch things that are in collection, it can cause your score to drop even lower. So right now, he said the best thing is to just let it sit. Do not dispute it. Don't touch it. So keep in mind, when you have things that's in collection, don't dispute it. Don't call them. Just let it sit and just work on first lowering your current accounts first. He told me at some point, if we have to increase your score before closing, then we can go ahead and dispute those, or either try to get them removed completely from your credit. Because when you get them removed completely from your credit, then it will go up, but it's not guaranteed that the company, the collection agency, will agree to remove it completely from your credit once you pay them off. So it's best to not try to dispute it. It's best to not even try to offer a payoff, to just let it stay until, your mortgage company tell you otherwise, or if you're working with a credit counselor until they tell you otherwise. And another thing that I noticed during this process was I went ahead and paid off one of my accounts to a zero balance, and I have not used that account in like over a year. And just recently, I looked at my credit report and it went down 3 points, and I was wondering why. So I clicked into it on Credit Karma to see what was the changes, and it stated that because I had an open account that I did not use in over a year, the company automatically closed the account. It was a Care Credit dental account. I was kind of surprised and shocked in that, because I was thinking, well, you would think that, a company would like to see that you're not, overspending on the account, but they actually closed it. So that was something that I actually learned doing this whole process. So that's about it. I don't really have a lot to speak on this. I just wanted to encourage you all to continue to do what you're doing as far as, saving your money and paying down your credit cards or any open accounts that you have below 50%, and then try to get it to 30%. Once you get it to 30%, then try to keep it no higher than 10% in order for your score to continue to go higher. And that's about it. Thanks for tuning in to Traces of Twins Life. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.